So I arrived in Maine last week, sitting outside trying to figure out how in the world I was going to explain my project to the rest of the fellows and to you here today. And as I was pondering this question, I see this rambunctious kid running around and his father right behind him chasing him, trying to calm him down. And just as the father catches up to him and turns him around, this bee flies by and lands on a flower right next to him. The father says, "Carter, look at that bee." And this kid, who was just kind of freaking out and spasming everywhere, stops. He freezes. His world just pauses, and he's fixated on this bee, and his eyes start bulging out, and he starts going, bzz, bzz, bzz. And at that point, it clicked. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back that wonderment. I'm trying to reignite that curiosity for the natural world that we all had when we were younger. And that's where Project NOAA comes from. NOAA stands for Networked Organisms and Habitats. And another way of looking at what we're doing is like this. Imagine a field guide for every type of organism on the planet, a butterfly net, and a quick and easy way to grab field notes thrown on top of one of these guys, built on top of its existing camera functionality and its existing GPS capabilities. Now, I know we're all deeply familiar with attention deficit disorder, but what I'm really interested in is tackling nature deficit disorder, because I wholeheartedly believe that not only is there an educational need and an environmental need, but a deep, deep human need for all of us to reconnect with our planet. And it all starts by paying a little more attention to the wildlife that's around us, our local wildlife. And so we launched Project NOAA back in March, and I want to quickly show you kind of how we do all this. Our application has three main modes. The first mode is the spotting mode. So think of that as a butterfly net. That's your way to quickly grab your encounters with nature. Tap on a category, add some notes, add a photo, submit it. You're done. On the back end, we're grabbing location information, date and timestamps, and storing that in our database. The next mode is the location-based field guide. So based on your current location, we'll show you all the wildlife that's been spotted around you. And where possible, we'll provide you a link to Encyclopedia of Life or Wikipedia. So you actually can learn about the wildlife that's around you when you're in physical proximity to it. And that's really the power of location-based learning. And this is the concept of field missions we've introduced. These are actual missions you can embark on or participate in to help gather data for ongoing research projects. Let me give you an example. We work with a guy named Gary Linkoff, who wrote a North American field guide to wild mushrooms on a project called the Mushroom Mapping Project. This is actually a photo he submitted. So now next time you see a mushroom or a ladybug or a squirrel or an invasive species like the Asian longhorned beetle that we're afraid that's going to enter Maine, you can grab that encounter. Not only are you sharing with our community, you're actually contributing a data point to ongoing research. What do we do when we collect all this information? We provide it to you through our website. It's very visually driven. It's about kind of that wonderment I talked about earlier, encouraging you to explore the globe and see all the amazing wildlife that our community from all over the world has contributed. Here's an example of some of the wildlife that we see. Our top contributor is a teacher from southern Spain. One of my favorite contributors is a 9-year-old girl who's homeschooled from New Zealand, who's absolutely obsessed with insects. We have teachers, we have students, we have kids, we have adults, all contributing from all over the world. So I want to give you a glimpse at where we're headed. We recently got a major investment from National Geographic. We're unbelievably excited about that. And so one of the things we're doing is we're bringing patches back. And so this is an example of some things we're working on. In the middle, you got the tadpole patch. You get that kind of when you start contributing. And down the road, you could evolve into a Nat Geo Explorer. We've completely redesigned our interface and our user experience to make it much more compelling and a richer experience. My desire and my dream and inspiration for this was part Darwin's Field Guide, part vintage science instrument, and a kind of a dollop of biopunk steampunk, just for good measure. And we're going to tie that all into our website. So we're going to have a tight, communally driven experience. My ultimate dream really is to mobilize a new generation of citizen scientists, a human-powered global network of Earth monitors, if you will. So whether it's an oil spill on the Gulf Coast, rainforest deforestation in Central America, or an invasive species like a beetle here in Maine, our users are going to be on the front lines documenting those encounters with nature. And who knows, maybe down the road they'll discover a new species or make a new discovery for science. But together we're going to document and preserve global biodiversity. After all, it's our planet, and it's up to us to step up and take ownership. We're not sitting around waiting for Superman or Captain Planet or any of that bullshit. So I challenge each and every one of you, when you leave this auditorium today, to start paying more attention to the nature that's thriving under your nose. The future of our planet is in our hands. Thank you very much.